sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Today, it's the penultimate week of the regular season, Week 16, and we've got a good one in store between the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons. The holiday season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. Off of play action, it's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's second down.
This early in the game, it's all about making steady progress downfield, hoping to lead to early points. And you can do it with your actual play calls, or sometimes something a little more improvised, as we just saw there.
First carry for James Conner. 7 yards there and a first down. The Falcons at 500, 7-7 on the year. And they come in the midst of a pretty bad stretch here. Losers of 5 straight.
And far be it from me to go ahead and go gloom and doom, right? If they fall down 7-0, 14-0, all of a sudden the cycle starts all over again. So the best way out of this for them, they need something to happen positive early in this game. That's a great way to help break this losing skid.
And Kelvin Joseph that time in on the tackle. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were terrific a week ago in that win over Detroit.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Now Watson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
This is going to be the matchup to watch out on the perimeter, and it won't be the last time these two go at it. Both of them believe they are the superior. In this case, the win goes to the defense.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away. And a great job on special teams to down it as this will be marked out inside the 5-yard line.
That punt was near perfection as it checked up inside the 5-yard line. You never know where these things are going to go, do you?
No, what was it? You got a John Heisman quote about that, right?
Yeah, he said the football is roughly a prolate spheroid, which means it's going to bounce funny, and you never know where it's going to end up.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The quick throw taken in by Diggs. And he'll have this past the 30 prior to going out of bounds. That's good for 28 yards.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. We're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. What's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
I think defensively, you're you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
A big change in field position there. That's 40 yards on the catch and run.
And CD, we have seen some great runs the last few times we've been together, but I think we can at least put this one in our top 5. That was a determined gallop there.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10.
On play action, Mills.
They'll roll him out right. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller.
And they're going to get this down inside the 20. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go that sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
Working with a 2nd and 4.
First carry for Damian Harris, the Alabama man. And he'll get this one down to about the 17. Only a yard of the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Defensively, we always know that he is tough in run support, and I think the way that he gets there is he understands what an offense is going to do before the ball's even snapped. A great job of scouting prior to the game, then reading, reacting, and taking the right path to the ball carrier.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Third and short yardage, Mills.
And that's knocked away and incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Riley Patterson now on for the field goal.
From the right hash, just a 34-yard attempt.
Patterson's kick is good.
And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line.
Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
Well, they've got man coverage on the outside, and my scouting report on these DBs tells me that they love to take matters in their own hands. They want man coverage, not zone. And there was good coverage there that forced the incompletion.
He's going to let it go again. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off by Micah Hyde.
And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football.
Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They run again with Harris. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4. So nothing there that time, and maybe you need to look to the O-line. They weren't able to create any space.
No, they weren't, and you know as well as I do, as many offensive line coaches we've ever met, I think that'll be addressed loudly when those guys get to the sideline.
And they're usually loud and big.
To throw, Mills.
No, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? You know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ballgame.
Yeah, and some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look to hit a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 6-0 our score after 1. Watson off play action. And he will go down. A Cowboys sack. Brian Burns in there to get him. And on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
They just gave up a sack there. And if I'm not mistaken, they gave up 4 last week, didn't they?
Yes. And just looking really porous, aren't they?
They really are. And I'm wondering if they're going to have to start thinking about keeping the tight end in, maybe a back, someone to help assist. Because right now, their quarterback's been getting hit a lot in the last couple of games.
Under pressure, they got him again. Brian Burns. That is now 2 sacks for him here in this first half.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Gonna need something special here on 3rd and long. After that sack, what does Watson have in his arsenal? He'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted.
Marcus Jones picks it.
And I think this is a situation where quarterback coach in the sideline is going to talk to a signal caller and say, listen, it's 3rd and long and it's still early in the game. Let's not force things here. If we don't feel good about it, let's just check something down and pump the football.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37.
And, CD, you look at this defense, what kind of pressure are they under trying to stop a team that has won 5 games in a row?
Well, to me, it makes their job harder because you know you're going up against an offense that's playing at an elite level, and sometimes you can get too caught up in trying to play the perfect game. You're trying to be too precise, too fine, instead of just letting it rip. And I think that's more the priority than trying to be absolutely perfect.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
From the shotgun, it's Mills.
Pressure comes, and down he goes.
Pressure can come from all over when you're plotting a defensive strategy. On that particular play, it just came from the outside.
They're backed up here. Tough spot, needing 11 yards to pick up the first. On 3rd down, here's Mills.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Oh, that's going to hurt a bit because they needed to come through with a completion there. Now a drive that started with great field position is facing 4th down.
On is the punter, Johnston now, as he sends this one away.
And this ball is going to be down now right at the 10-yard line. Good spot.
Well, someone's going to be happy with that effort. And you know who else is going to be happy? His defense.
Absolutely.
He's created a very long field for that offense to try to traverse.
And he got some help from Mr. Football there, checking up nicely. Good English on that punt. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. A shotgun snap for Watson.
This one finds Wilson downfield.
And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. First catch for him on the afternoon, and it results in a 1st down. Quick throw completed by Watson. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
But one of the ways the quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
On 1st and 10 is Counter. Oh, what a juke into space.
And a good run here as he'll rumble all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
They're making it look easy out there. Another 1st down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 1st downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success. On 1st and 10, Watson. Over the middle into traffic, and that's complete.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37.
They kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
On 2nd down, Connor looking for space. And some space here. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds.
62 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this 1st down.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Watson. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing? That's 3 sacks now, and this team came into the game in the bottom 5 in the league in sacks.
Yeah, what's going on? It's not been their bread and butter. I don't know. Is a blind squirrel finding a nut, or is this something they can build on?
Well, they found some momentum. They found a crack in that offensive line, and they're putting it to good use.
Watson's throw here going to be caught by Wilson. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. It's been a pretty long drive. This will be play number 9, and they need 10 yards out of it on third. Now it's Watson. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
And the average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get the third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
So if you like field goals, you've come to the right spot. We've had 3 so far.
Well, this is a football game, right?
It is.
You like that one, huh? You like where I went with that? How about that one?
I like it.
Okay, but hey, let's face it. In this game right now, both defenses have responded well. They're trying to hold the line on this. You just wonder if anyone can break through with a touchdown and put some pressure on their opposition.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach is talking with his offense.
He's got a man complete. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So barely time to catch our breath. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the red zone. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
It's not a huge breakaway run, but if your starting running back finishes the game with averages of 5 or 6 yards per touch, you'll take that every single time.
Again, it's Harris on 2nd down. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. The Cowboys going to use their 2nd timeout now as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. So 3 plays already 1st and goal, and they are wasting little time. They'll run again with Harris. And that's a touchdown, but hold on. There is a flag down on the field. We'll have to see what this is about. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
A terrible spot for a holding call as they'll try again, but now from further back on 1st and goal. Here's Mills. And he'll be marked down right at the 15-yard line.
They made a nice effort to stick it with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
2nd down and goal. Mills hit, and he loses the ball. And the Falcons grab it. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, there's going to be hot routes if they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback. They've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, Never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
And now we'll get a late timeout as it comes in the waning moments of quarter number 2. Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Following the fumble recovery, Watson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Well, he certainly did a nice job improvising there, extending the play, hoping someone would come open downfield, but they never did.
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Not wanting to take a chance this time, they'll keep it on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So if you like field goals, this is your game. 6-3, 3 field goals at the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gunn, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Cowboys will get the football first here, and they have the lead as well as we are underway in quarter 3. And this is going to be returned from middle of the end zone. And he'll wind up getting a couple extra yards here for his trouble and bringing it out of the end zone as he's down at the 27. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. This offense set to begin the 3rd quarter. And, Charles, if they had a checklist of things they wanted to accomplish in the first half, certainly at the top of that list would be having the lead, and they've got that here.
That's always the most important box to check, isn't it? But also, they've had...
He's got a man complete. And he's going to be out of bounds inside the 25-yard line. A big play here for Dallas. And even 50 yards.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Mills on 1st down. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, sometimes the defense just beats you. Great coverage from the secondary, all of them in the proper position. So instead of trying to throw into tight coverage, he found a way to throw it away and come back and try again the next down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now Mills. He'll get that one to Carter complete. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. So they just need 1 yard here to pick up the 1st down. Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he will have the 1st down before he's tackled at the 12. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin too.
From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll keep it on the ground. Harris again. Slipped 1 tackle, but no more as he's knocked to the deck behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Mills.
getting pressured, and it's a loss of 6.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. 7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard.
Patterson's kick is good.
And they continue to lead in the battle of field goals here. It's now 9-3. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you've pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get the ball in the end zone.
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again.
And only a couple there up to about the 23-yard line.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
Watson to throw on 3rd and 1. And that is incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. That'll be a 48-yard punt, 1 yard on the return. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with Harris. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
Now, Brandon, that's the way you want to run the football. There should almost be quote bubbles above the offense right now. Bam, boom, biff. That's how they feel good about moving the football.
From the 31, Mills. He's airing it out for Williams. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those, but the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
Looking to throw is Mills. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He'll get off a fairly short kick here as this is toward the sideline. And the punt over the side in the air, and the spot will be inside the 35. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. From the gun, here's Watson.
Over the middle and complete to Wilson.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Yeah, the Cowboys here on 3rd down, bringing in an extra defensive back. Faking the give, now Watson.
He'll get this complete to Rondale Moore.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth, when the ball's arriving and there's a defender there.
Oh, the ball is out. Watson lost it. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line.
That feels like an accumulation of the pressure we've seen all game. I mean, he's been on the turf a whole lot because of sacks. Eventually, something else happens as well, and this time it was a turnover.
Yeah, caught up to him. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 46. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. In for the sack, Deion Jones.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
To try again after the sack. Mills looking for his man on the out route, and he's got Diggs. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Mills to throw it. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Falcons are going to take possession as they got it at the 42-yard line.
What a season he continues to have defensively. Now a dozen interceptions this year, Charles.
And let's face it, we've watched a lot of ball. But when you get 12 in 1 year, that's better than most careers, isn't it?
Absolutely, and you might be asking for a bump in pay, too.
No doubt about it. Running right in there and talking to the team.
And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Back to throw, Watson. And that is incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
This offense so far on 3rd down, just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd down and 12. Here's Watson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And the Cowboys will take over possession here up at the 44. If you combine last week and this week, he's got a hat trick going because he had 2 interceptions a week ago.
He's seeing the ball so well and understanding where receivers are and positioning. I mean, just watching him work with such great technique and paying it off by actually catching the ball when he has a chance, he's helping his team in a huge way.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Another important 4th quarter series coming up. That last INT helping to maintain their slim advantage. And he works his way forward to pick up 4 yards there. 2nd down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely, you want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing, Mills. And Waller taking it in over the middle. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a 1st down.
On play action, Mills. Looking again for Waller, and he's got him again. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
They'll try the right side with Harris. They find some open field here. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. 63 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the 4th quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
1st down, and they go back to Harris. And he gets halfway home from the 10 to the 5 on a pickup of 5. Good gain there on 1st down, and keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. On 2nd down, this is Harris. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. A loss on that play, and now 3rd down gets tougher. 3rd and 6.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity, because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And he'll be stopped well short. Only 2 yards there. 4th and 3.
But this was just simply excellent defense. On this third down, they had to be alert for the possibility of a pass, but that didn't stop them at all from understanding what was going on when they decided to run the football. And they just swarmed and stopped them for almost no gain.
Patterson's kick is good. And the lead stretches to 9. It's now 12-3.
So that CD, an important one here in the fourth quarter.
And that importance cannot be overstated. All eyes on both sidelines were staring that one down all the way. The significance is that they made it a 2-score game. Still lots of time left to go, but likely that was their goal at the start of the drive. Get 3 points, make it a 2-score game, and they were able to get it done.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. A tougher task for them now. That turnover on their last possession led to the field goal, meaning that they have to now try to erase a 2-score deficit here in the fourth. 23 yards on the play.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game. Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. On first down, it's Watson. Locates ETN along the sideline. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Another first down there as this one goes for 25. Here's Watson. ETN bringing in another one. And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They tackle them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Oh, no, he lost the football. Fortunate to get that football back because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity because it could have been lost there, their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Marcus May with a pick. And the Cowboys are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here. Maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2, and it brings up second down. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Now here's another carry for Harris. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 77 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. 2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now, this is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. To throw, Mills. And that will be incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Here's Cameron Johnston now as he's on to punt for Dallas. Pulled in at the 24. Just a net of 34 there following a punt of 44 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw that costly interception, so we'll see if they can right the ship here on this drive.
And doesn't that just sum up football? We see it all the time, don't we? The defense goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
And we'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in this second half. Here's Watson.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Back-to-back incompletions, but we know this is definitely four-down territory. Time not on their side. I don't think they want to try and get the first down in 2 installments. I think they got to go and get it right here, right now.
Watson. And this pass broken up. The contact well timed there, and now 4th down.
That means it's just one last chance left, and this has to be a first down or a touchdown, or this game's over.
Desperation time. Watson on 4th down. And this is intercepted. And that should do it. Picked off by Micah Hyde. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Cowboy defense has a touchdown. Little choice, Charles, but to go for it right there, and that pick six will be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, you don't know how many more possessions you're going to get, so really you're almost at the point of no options. Have to go for it. Bottom line, though, is defenders know that as well. They know you've got to throw the football. Had the right defense called, able to make a nice play on the ball, and that's all she wrote.
Extra point by Patterson, up and good.
And that could be important as that makes this a 16-point lead. So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. Now they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership.
Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Wide open receiver complete.
And he's going to have a Falcons first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. To throw, Watson. He finds Wilson. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with 25 ticks remaining on the clock. With that grab, he now sits at 200 for his career, and maybe more importantly, a first down.
Watson to throw. He's got the connection to Moore.
And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give him a short yardage situation here for second down.
Now Watson.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's out of bounds. Almost gets to the 10.
Well, certainly those are the types of mistakes they're trying to avoid as they attempt to protect this lead late in the game.
And let's face it, they're hoping that this one doesn't cost them in a significant way. Yeah, one guy committed a penalty, but now the entire defense has to pay the price and try and rise up and overcome it.
So a critical mistake, roughing the passer. Now it's 1st and goal. To the air yet again, Watson. And that'll be incomplete with 11 seconds remaining now.
And now defensively in the 2-minute drill, the big key to me, make sure you understand your assignments. And anytime you get a chance to tackle someone in bounds, get them on the ground.
The line of scrimmage, once again, the 5 as they get ready for 2nd and goal. To throw is Watson. The quick slant caught. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal. And now with 6 seconds remaining, they're going to burn their final timeout. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now Watson to the end zone, but knocked away and incomplete.
Well, you know they're going to look his way in the 2-minute drill, but that time he was blanketed, and they forced the incompletion. May need some teammates to step up in this spot.
Watson, a little touch pass on the jet sweep. And a little bit of a consolation prize here. He's into the end zone. Won't win him the game, but they do get the score with all zeros showing.
But some fantasy players are really happy with that score.
Doesn't affect the outcome, but, hey, nice job there to put it in the end zone for the final play.
Could it affect other things? Sometimes these types of scores are ones that we don't consider big at the time. Then later on we find out maybe that was a tiebreaker.
Yeah.
Or, of course, in the fantasy football world, these points mean a lot.
A lot there. Here we go now as we get set for a big 2-point conversion. One last throw here for Watson. And they will get back to within 1 score as he is into the end zone, and the lead's cut to 8 here in the 4th. Well, at least at the very end, there's something to take away. They lost the game, but got in the end zone, got a 2-point conversion as well. I don't know, though. In the end, you still lost the football game.
You still lost the game, but maybe they were just capitalizing on the flurry at the end, right? You scored the touchdown, keep the momentum going, go for 2. Maybe they're working on something for down the road. As you said, it doesn't matter. You lose the game, but you finish with a touchdown and a successful 2-point
Some
conversion.
sort of a building block.
Yeah, something.
So for Dallas, the win moves them to 8-7 now on the year. And they'll return home next week to take on the Cincinnati Bengals. Meanwhile, for Atlanta,
they fall under 500 now as they drop to 7-8.
And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.